Hello, everyone. I hope you are all enjoying your weekend out there. It's time for another deep dive into price action based technical analysis. And in fact, I am thrilled you are joining me today in today's episode as we will be diving into the XAUUSD chart, examining potential opportunities as gold prices seems to be reversing its course after hawkish comment from the New York Fed President Williams on Friday. Last week was nothing short of phenomenal. We rode the bullish wave, seizing fantastic trading opportunities that yielded over 1,800 pips from multiple entries before gold prices struggled to maintain its upward trajectory on Friday's trading session. Massive congratulations to all of you who joined in on this profitable journey. Fantastic job to you. If you in any way missed out on the daily commentaries on this asset and want to catch up for educational purposes, you can find the link in the description box below or in the top right hand corner of your screen if you are watching on my YouTube channel. Now, despite Friday's challenges in preserving bullish momentum, the broader trend for gold remains very positive, supported around the $2,020 area. Gold is influenced by the headwind effect of anticipated Fed cuts, posing challenges for the US dollar. Now, the question on everyone's mind is how will gold prices perform in the coming week as we gradually approach the year end. As always, we will be analyzing the current market structure from both technical and fundamental perspective using tools such as trend lines, key levels, and chart patterns to reveal the potential trajectory of price action in the days ahead. But before we proceed, I want to emphasize that this video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. My goal is to provide insights into the XAUUSD chart, enhancing your understanding of price action analysis. Always remember Forex trading involves inherent risk, so exercise caution and consider consulting a professional financial advisor before making any investment decisions. With the groundwork laid, and let's delve into the details without further ado. So as we turn to the daily chart, it is clear that we are at a pivotal point in the market where historical price action has often triggered selling pressure since the year 2020. Now, if you zoom in this chart, you will see that since the year 2020, we have noticed how this area had continued to serve as a selling niche in this particular market. And right now, price action is back into that particular zone. At this juncture, we are observing a range between the 2080 and the $2,030 area that will serve as a key reference for our trading decisions moving forward. So this is one of the major reference point I was able to identify here, as you will see that since the month of April of this year, this area had continued to serve as a strong selling niche in this particular market. And what this simply means is that price action is at a very crucial juncture where, depending on what happens around this area, will determine what our next line of action will be. In this regard, I was able to identify a key level that we will be using for this week, which is duly situated at the psychological area around the $2,030 level. And of course, you know how we use our key levels in this community. As long as price action remains below the key level, we want to be looking out for patterns and structures that supports the idea of selling. And if price breaks above the key level, we definitely want to be looking out for patterns and structures that supports the idea of buying that asset. Now, as it is right now, we are at a crucial juncture, as you will see that as soon as price got into the zone, we noticed some selling pressure come in to incite the potential that we could be witnessing some profit-taking activities that may push price maybe down into any of these ascending trend lines. I was able to spot before maybe another wave of bullish momentum will happen, or probably break it down to the downside to incite a downtrend scenario. However, if price action climbs above the $2,030 area and we begin to notice some series of higher highs and higher lows within the supply zone, then this might give us some confirmations that buyers may be building up some momentum that may likely break out of the $2,080 area. Now, with this information we have gathered here, you will agree with me that we are at a crucial juncture, and we need some further setups that will help us be able to position ourselves for the next big move. And in that regard, I was able to identify a simple setup on the 4 hours time frame, which we will be using to guide our decisions for the upcoming week. But before we go into the lower time frame, as you all know, we do want to keep tabs with the fundamental factors that will be affecting the market sentiment for the upcoming week. And in that regard, we do want to be switching to the economic calendar. And of course, you do know that by monitoring the economic calendar, we aim to pinpoint potential correlations between critical economic releases and specific technical patterns on the chart, hereby giving us valuable information needed to position ourselves in such a way that we can capitalize on any potential move prior, during, and even after these economic events. Now, based on this asset on our watch list, we will be focusing on economic features from the United States economic docket. Now, for this week, the first one we are looking forward to is coming in on Thursday, December 21. I hope I'm correct on this one. Okay, December 21, and that is the GDP, gross domestic product, annualized for quarter 3. And for those of you who do not really know how important this is, well, the GDP is considered to be a key economic indicator representing the annualized percentage change in the United States real GDP during the third quarter. Now, the anticipation of this event can significantly impact market sentiment as it provides a comprehensive view of economic health and growth of the United States. Then fast forward to Friday, December 22nd, we have the core PCE, which is usually known as the core personal consumption expenditure. And this data here measures the average change over time in the prices paid by consumer for goods and services, excluding volatile foods and energy components. Now, this data here also gives us an insight into the inflationary pressure of the United States economy as well. So these are the high impactful event which I'll be looking out for. And of course, we do know that the anticipation of this event alone has a tendency of affecting the market sentiment, which we will be seeing on the chart as price action. Now, talking about price action, we will be scaling down into the 4 hours time frame to have a better perspective into what is going on here. So what I did on the 4 hours time frame was to take into consideration the nature of price action since the month of October, and this was what I was able to come up with. Now, the first thing you will see here is that the market has been on a strong bullish momentum, and in fact, I have an ascending trend line to buttress this idea. Now, in addition to this trend line are a couple of levels which we will be using to guide our decision. And the first one here is that area around the 1,000 $2,990 area, which can be characterized by a demand zone, though it was initially a selling niche at some point in the month of October. As you will see here, selling pressure, though we had a little bit of a breakout here, price action did come back down the structure. You see here selling pressure again before we finally saw price break out of that level during the second or third week of the month of November. And since then, price action has remained above that area. So I was able to name this zone as a demand zone at this point in time. Now, as long as price action remains above this zone, we do want to feel comfortable in a buy position. Now, in addition to that, we have our key level very much intact around the $2,030 area, as you will see here. And one thing I was able to confirm here is how that area between the 2030 and the 2050 has been a strong selling niche here. And if you look at what happened last week when price got into the structure, especially on Thursday, you will see that buyers are finding it difficult to break out of that 2050, hereby transitioning into what may be a reversal pattern in the form of a double top structure, where the neckline of this pattern coincidentally shares a beautiful confluence with that key level at the $2,030 area. Now, the question at this juncture is, will this reversal pattern turn out to be a movement that will push price to the downside? Maybe we could see price retrace back into structure, bringing price back into the trend line here, which interestingly shares a confluence with the $1,990 area, maybe to incite an uptrend continuation or probably breakdown retest to incite a sell-off to the downside. So this is one scenario I will be looking at the beginning of the week. And in fact, if price action instead goes the other way and leads to the breakout of the 2050, then I will be in for another wave of bullish momentum. So this is my perspective for this week on the XAUUSD, as our center of focus for this week is going to be between the 2050 and that area around the $2,030 zone to decide what our next line of action will be. But trust me, I will be with you in the comment section of my TradingView platform and all my other platforms to give you updates on what may be happening after monitoring how participants in the market will be reacting to this current structure during the early hours of the new week. If you have found this content helpful and useful in making your independent trading decisions for the week, I would greatly appreciate your support by giving the video a thumbs up. Your likes are valuable to me and helps the algorithm promote the video to a wider audience of traders who may find the material beneficial. Thank you in advance for doing so. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to follow me on this channel for more of this content. By subscribing, you would always stay updated with the latest ideas I share and of course receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. See you all in the comment section on Monday morning as we get prepared for the new week. Do have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye-bye.